Well, hey everybody, this is Chris DeFurio with Keys to the Shop, and welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends at La Marzocco. Check out their website, lamarzocousa.com. If you need espresso equipment, this is the place to go. Machines that are built specifically for beauty, dependability, innovation. You have anything from the Linea Classic, the Linea PB, one of my favorites. You've got the Leva espresso machine, which you can actually like pull a shot of espresso with all different configurations, technologically advanced or very simple. La Marzocco just is in the business of excellence, and they've been making espresso machines by hand in Florence, Italy since 1927. This kind of history is why they lead in the world of espresso machines, and some of the best bars you'll ever go to use a La Marzocco. So if you're looking for a great espresso machine, if you're looking for a great grinder, if you're just really out to get that part of your business settled and secure, so you have peace of mind knowing you've got the best, then La Marzocco is the place to go. So go check them out, lamarzocousa.com. You can also email them at info@lamarzocousa.com. Their salespeople are really helpful and friendly, and they'll help you get the right equipment for your cafe. So again, check them out, lamarzocousa.com. Now, we're also sponsored by our friends at rattleware.com. Now, Rattleware has been in the business for a long time. The pitchers and shot glasses and whisks and knock boxes and the small wares that just work, make your cafe work, right? The things that you need for the business to actually be stable so you can focus on the customer-facing stuff, the making of the coffee, the dialing in, the tasting, and the exchange and hospitality. Believe it or not, it actually comes down to whether you can count on a shot glass, you can count on a pitcher. It's the little things, and they do the little things with excellence, and you can count on them in a big way. So go check them out again over at rattleware.com. Now, today's episode is something that I have been wanting to record, and today is a perfect opportunity because it's like top of mind. So we're going to do that. And it is about overwhelming your managers. Okay. So, first of all, let's just bring up the fact that in the world of ownership, cafe ownership, it is kind of lonely. And this is something you can observe really easily. Key holder coaching group members that join us for these cohorts that we run, this is one of the primary things that they have on their mind is, I just need to be in community and get some outside input and perspective. And it's really helpful. But when you're not a part of that community and just the daily work that you do, it just starts to pile up. You need to talk to somebody. And often what happens is especially if you're a verbal processor, right? You will talk to the nearest person to you. And if you share an office or you're in meetings all the time with management, you're going to just kind of talk about big plans or things that are rolling around in your brain. And you're not going to realize it, but the amount of things that you say and the future plans you make and the pontificating about the condition of the market and the cafes at this moment, everything you say goes into the ears and the mind of the manager, and it does more than just settle there, oh, that was a good conversation, and then move on. It actually makes it builds up this kind of level of stress. A lot of times stress because a manager, generally speaking, is going to be bent toward taking action on alleviating certain things that the person who is their boss is concerned about. So when a manager hears you talking about this project and future plan for something later on this year, sometimes what they'll get is the idea that they're supposed to think about that too. Or else, why would the owner be bringing this up all the time? They seem to want to talk about this all the time. So maybe I should be thinking about this all the time. But actually, what the owner wants you to do is to focus on the core of your job and get that stuff done. But for them, it's a matter of, I need somebody to talk to and kind of bounce these ideas off of. But eventually, the bouncing of ideas, it may not be impactful at first, but over time, it starts to leave a dent. and it overwhelms. I've seen this happen both, myself giving some of my managers too much conversation around things that I was thinking about, but also with clients who did the same thing, where the manager started to get really like overwhelmed. There's so many things going on, and I just need to be anchored in: am I doing a good job managing this coffee shop? Am I doing well in my job description? Your role as an owner is not to dream out loud in front of your staff. That the motivation most people get from interacting with their boss has to do with how their boss knows about, affirms, and helps them succeed in the work that they do. Now, ideas are fun. Future forecasting is fun. I get it. But you got to realize the power difference between the two of you makes it so that every word you speak has more weight. It has more meaning and implications, and there's a warp that happens when your words come out. They carry that weight with them, and the person hearing it has maybe a different interpretation than you intended. And don't hear me say that this is something you're intending to do, but the overwhelm is a very real problem because we're not disciplining ourselves to consider what is the wake that I'm leaving behind me when I enter into the office, when I give everybody, what's in my head and I speak it all out and then I just like say, all right, see ya, and I leave. Are you paying attention to what that is going to produce in the culture? Did you leave that culture better than you found it? Did you help them do their job better by speaking about, wouldn't it be cool if we did this, that, and the other thing? Okay, yeah, maybe. But in that instance, maybe what they really needed was for you to focus in on helping them with their work, giving them more clarity and direction, showing them that you recognize the work that they have been doing very well. And when they know you're somebody who is constantly focused and speaking to these things, and they can find themselves in a solid place, because when you show up, you are the anchor, right? You're not the one who provides a lack of stability. You're the one who provides stability. And a lot of times when we don't consciously enter in with intention to these situations, we end up inadvertently causing the boat to be rocked instead of the boat to be propelled. So the answer to this is: keep your conversations focused on the main things you want that person focused on. Because what they see you looking at, talking about, enthusiastic about, and sharing with them communicates that you want them to also be enthusiastic, thinking about and acting upon those things. And what happens as a result can be that manager then takes it upon themselves to start searching, researching, and exploring, spending time doing that under the idea that, well, that was important. That's what we need to focus on. And where this really starts to become hard is when you actually tell them to do that. Not when they just, by virtue of thinking, okay, that means they want me to. When you actually say, hey, can you look into this for me? As if they don't have anything better to do. Don't have your managers chasing pet projects that you've got in your head that you think are really cool, but you haven't really thought through. That's a waste of their time. And it's a waste of your energy and your presence. Your authority, like we always say, is not yours to use for yourself. Your authority is a tool to use for the benefit of others, which in turn will benefit you with a stronger business, with a more profitable business, with a focused team of people. If you go down this other route of distraction, either implicitly or explicitly, you're going to end up with a lot of overwhelm in the management, and it just gets out of control from there. So I hope that this makes sense, and that maybe you've done this. Everyone's done it. I think it's about being the point of clarity, doing things intentionally, and being an anchor and a point of stability for your managers to help them win in their role. So that's all I have to share today. I hope that was helpful to you. Let me know. Always, you can email chris@keystotheshop.com. If you're interested in coaching and consulting, I work one-on-one with coffee shop owners who are looking to improve their coffee shops. That's what I do. So if you want to email me, just email chris@keystotheshop.com. and I'll be waiting for your email. So thanks, everybody. And hopefully we'll see you next week on another edition of Shift Break, from keys to the shop.